Thanks for tuning into our seller interview series. Up today, we've got Amazon affiliate site for sale in the bathroom fixtures niche. Created in June 2014, this business makes just over $5,000 per month in net profit, and the listing number for this is 40476. Now, we do these interviews to give potential buyers more information about both the seller and the sites they're looking to purchase. We hope these insights are helpful for you in making your buying decision. We've got the seller with us today to go through the business, cover everything from niche selection to traffic and monetization. Thanks for coming on, man. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me back, Justin.
Having you back. Yeah, it's your second go around. Let's do a quick summary of the business. Tell me if I missed anything or if I got anything wrong. The business was built in June 2014, so nearly 2 years ago. The monthly revenue is $5,366 a month. That's an 8-month average. Expenses come in at $155 a month, with net profit falling in at $5,211 a month. Again, that's an 8-month average. You're including the domain, the site content. This is a reasonably passive Amazon affiliate site and really straightforward business, whether you're new or you've got some experience here. Does that pretty much sum up the business?
Yep, that's fine. Perfect.
All right, man, if you could tell me a little bit about your background in building and running online businesses, how did you get into all this and kind of what's your story?
My business partner and I, we've been building these kind of niche sites for 2 years now. And before that, I was an accountant. And before that, my business partner, Kevin, was in IT support and also did a bit of teaching. So we've been out here in Chiang Mai in Thailand. We've moved from Australia to Thailand to grow the business and be a bit more in the community out here. And so, yeah, sort of this is our living, and we've been around for a little while and hope to be around for a lot longer building these types of sites.
So you guys are doing the digital nomad thing, and it's easy because this is a business that you can run from anywhere. So you've been running this in Chiang Mai, Thailand, but someone wants to run this from Los Angeles or Bali or Florida, whatever, not a problem. That's one of the benefits of these online businesses. There's a lot of different Amazon business models. For someone that's brand new to this, can you just kind of explain what the Amazon affiliate business model is like?
Yep. Okay. So very basically, people, hundreds of thousands of people there shop on Amazon all the time, and they're constantly looking for reviews or information about products. And they'll often type into Google, best XYZ, or looking for more information about the product they're looking for. And we're there with our own little sort of niche website, providing them with that information and then the affiliate link to Amazon. So the process is someone types into Google, best coffee table, for example, and then they find one of our sites, and then they see a whole lot of coffee tables they might like, and then they're directed on to click through into Amazon. And if they buy a coffee table or even something completely unrelated, then we get a commission from that sale. So I absolutely love the business because there's no customers, there's no suppliers, it's very hands-off, and if you can get to rank in Google, then you can have a really good business.
Yeah, you don't get paid per click like you would with AdSense, but you do get paid per purchase, and they can go over to Amazon and purchase anything, not just the niche you're in. They can go buy a watch or a ring or whatever, and you get paid on that on a pretty short period. The benefit is that you're less worried about like bot traffic or people trying to, like flood your site and all these clicks that are not real. I mean, these are people that actually go to Amazon and buy stuff. And you're also messing with Amazon, who are fantastic at, split testing pages. And, they already have millions of people's credit cards. So they go to Amazon. It's trusted sites for easy for them to go and pay. And they've already got their credit card on file. And there's a lot of times it's one-click purchase. So it makes it really, really easy.
Absolutely.
Why did you get into this niche? Why, bathroom fixtures? Why? I mean, was it a keyword-based approach? I mean, did you look up keywords that you thought were reasonable for you to get ranked for and then went that, or did you have like some connection?
It's a little bit of both. I mean, we really love the sort of household home improvement kind of product niche. The products are really easy to review, and they're generally pretty stable. They're not sort of a changing fashion or seasonal kind of product. And often there's a bit of a higher price point as well. So we find they're kind of really good general niches to be in. They're sort of profitable and easy to maintain and manage. Yeah. So and we kind of like to do sort of everyday things, find simple things and working out the niches and the keywords around that idea. And then finally, sort of 18-month to 2-year period, we can start ranking for the more mainstream term and really make a site that's as good as the one on offer here today.
Yeah, it's kind of boring in terms of like it's not like this cool hip like tech niche or a lot of things are changing, but that's part of the appeal, right? Number one, there's just less competition because everyone wants to play with the kind of fun stuff, right? And then number two, there's not like a gazillion changes happening every month, right? In like the tech space. So yeah, I think that's interesting. I think that there's boring can be better, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
All right, so let's talk about why you're selling this business. I mean, you've had it for a little under 2 years. It's been going really well. Why not just keep it and grow it out for another couple of years?
That's sort of our business model at the moment. I mean, we've got now up to 30 of these sites running around. So we're sort of constantly analyzing the portfolio and sort of, there's also the, dreaded tax considerations to make and all this sort of stuff and where we want to be. So this site came up in, our monthly and quarterly reviews, and we're kind of like, well, it's been steady for the last 9 months and earning well beforehand as well. So we kind of felt that it was a really good fit for an investor looking to purchase the site, and it helps with our sort of profitability for the quarter. It looks really good to bring some of that income forward with a big sale. So we kind of generally try and sort of take a site as far as we can take it, and then hopefully it's steady, or maybe someone with even more experience than us can grow it further. And we generally see that it's better for us to focus on building another new site, and so we'll generally sell some of the portfolio as we go along.
So based on your model, I mean, you have multiple sites going at any one time. You guys do a quarterly review. You're obviously looking to bring in some money for the quarter. You say, look, I think this one's a good fit. The reason is it's not growing 30% a month, right? If you're growing 30% a month, you say, oh, let's hold on to it. You look for those that have kind of like slowed down their growth or that have kind of steadied out. Said, look, I think from an investor's perspective, a buyer's perspective, this looks like a good buy. I think it would work for them. And, it's not, the other ones we have are still fast growth or high growth. We might as well hold on to those a little longer. Is that about right?
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, absolutely.
Cool, man. All right. So what's your plan for the cash with this when you sell? Are you going to live on it? Are you going to take a trip? Are you going to reinvest in another business?
Not 100% sure. There's so many opportunities running around at the moment, whether it be, there's still the drop shipping, Amazon, FBA sites seem strong at the moment. So it's sort of building a little bit of a war chest and hopefully having a lot of dry powder, so to speak, to really, execute on something new. Kevin, my partner, has started a sort of another smaller business on the side. So there's other opportunities there. So it's sort of a little bit of okay, let's just see where we're at. And, I've got being an ex-accountant, I've got all my spreadsheets and sort of cash targets where I want to be. So this is sort of really just all in that kind of space. So, yeah.
I know you guys have done a lot in the Amazon affiliate space. I know that literally probably 30 to 40% of the people that I do these interviews with are putting their money into FBA businesses. They're cash intense. They want to take the money and put it into FBA. So it's crazy. That seems to be a common thing. And it's not, it's actually not that much more difficult than an affiliate site. Do you think, I don't know, I'm thinking about the niche. I'm not sure it would be the case, but have you heard of the strategy where you have an affiliate site and then you are sending people to products that you are selling via Amazon FBA on Amazon?
I have heard of it. I think generally with our type of sites, it's not a great fit. Our sites generally try and do a very broad review. And I think if you were going to tie together an Amazon FBA product and an Amazon affiliate website where you're taking a lot of Google traffic and other search engine traffic and converting that into Amazon into your listings, I think you'd need a much more focused site. Yeah. And I think that kind of reduces a little bit of your reach and reduces a bit of your impact, can reduce your bang for your buck with the SEO. But I'm not in that space. I mean, I find with our sites that generally there's a fairly broad spectrum of products that are purchased by people because everyone's a little bit different or wants something a little bit different. And if you're just directing them at Amazon to your listing, you may lose a little bit of credibility with your niche site because you're not reviewing the whole market. You're kind of biased towards your own products. Or that people are going to get onto Amazon or either bounce from your site because it's not quite what they're looking for. They get onto Amazon, and Amazon's so very good at suggesting other people's products that your listing might not actually get a look in. So I think you would need to build a site very specifically for that purpose and try and balance all those competing factors to make it work.
Yeah, I know a guy that did this, and he's had some success, but he wasn't quite as successful as his projections. And one of the reasons being that they weren't buying at the same rate that he had projected that they would. Now, it still helped out tremendously because with FBA, I mean, you're really just relying on Amazon traffic. So this is all bonus, this is all in addition to. But what you said makes sense about a broader kind of market target. So if you have, hundreds of products that are generally selling in your niche across a wide, degree of niches, then you don't get as much bang for your buck, right, on one particular product line or product offering. So, yeah, that makes sense. All right, let's talk a little bit about the site history. We said it was built in June 2014. What was the trajectory like? Was it an immediate success? Did it take like 3 to 6 months to start earning? Like, what was that like?
We had some early good signs, and our sites generally follow a similar kind of trajectory because it's the kind of keywords we target. The lower monthly searches in the beginning for some keywords, and then the low competition keywords, and they can generally start to rank quite quickly. So in that sort of 3 to 6 month space, we started to see the site earning in that 1 to 2, 3K range, and then it's been in that last sort of 9 months or so now that it's really cracked into the more mainstream keywords around the topic, and now it's solidly sitting in there at sort of the 5K above figure.
So is this similar to, or is it along the lines of, let's say you're targeting a 3-word phrase, and the 3-word phrase on its own would be profitable, it'd be helpful, and other 3-word phrases, and then eventually you start to get enough juice and enough authority in the space where you start ranking for the more coveted, more valuable 2-word phrase, that kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, cool. All right. So is there anything, you guys have built quite a few sites. Was there anything with this site in particular that you learned that you'll be able to apply to future businesses? Anything particularly successful here?
Oh, it's hard to, we've done so many now that it kind of, it's hard to take myself out of it. I think I have to say no. I mean, it's good content written by a guy in North America. So, it's quality English content, well laid out. Kevin has optimized the site. So he's done everything, all the bells and whistles for it. So it loads in less than a second, which is pretty good for, a lot of Amazon links and images. It's got it's got 52 pages, 35,000 words of content. So there's substantial sort of backing behind it. Good content, good SEO, is generally your keys to success there.
Gotcha. So basically the same thing that you've done with some of the other sites you've built. With the writer, when you sell this business, is the buyer going to be able to have access to that writer? Do they have to write their own content? What's the plan there?
No, we probably won't share. This writer is very good to us, so I keep him very, very busy. So unfortunately, I don't think he has the bandwidth to write for anyone else at the moment. But there's no real need to add content to the site at this stage. There is the opportunity there, and we do have some keywords sort of in the pipeline that I'm happy to pass on to the new owner. But the content is very simple. Like I said, it's a boring niche. Anyone can do it. Our writer's especially good because of the volume he can punch out for us. And that's how we sort of, get our business to really rock and roll.
Awesome. Okay, so we're going to get into opportunities a bit, and we'll talk about kind of those keywords that you're going to be able to get into. Let's talk about traffic and earnings right now. So in terms of like a breakdown or percentage of organic versus referral versus direct versus social traffic, I'm guessing the majority of this is organic, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Like, what are you talking, 80% or so?
Yeah, even higher. All the real value is coming from your Google and your search engines there.
Gotcha. How many keywords are we talking about that are driving that traffic? Is it like one major keyword that's crushing it? Or are we talking about a dozen, 2 dozen, 3 dozen keywords across the board?
We track and targeted initially 21 keywords. So there is definitely a handful in there that are important, but it is fairly well distributed there. There's not just the one, but yeah, 21 keywords is what we track, and that's all across them.
All right, so when I look at the earnings and the traffic on our graph on the listing page, I see that earnings kind of went up all the way through September, dropped down just a touch, but basically stable through October, November. December was lower, and then January was bigger, but traffic was going down during that period. Any idea why you think that might be the case?
Yeah, the home improvement and sort of home fixtures products, generally in our experience, experiences some sort of weird seasonality. We're talking bathroom fixtures. So just before Christmas, it's not such a big deal. You're not thinking about, I'm going to, just before Christmas, I'm going to renovate my kitchen and bathroom and, all my house and all that sort of stuff. So we generally see that there's a slight seasonality to increase going into the summer months, the months we're going into. So we should start to see some more, not necessarily traffic, because people do this kind of research all through the year and, on with different whims, but the buying intent definitely increases going into your warmer summer months. I'm assuming that's when, Americans like to, do all the home improvements. It's not raining, it's, better weather, you've got summer holidays, so people hopefully have some time off to do all the things that they want to fix up around the house. So we generally see a bit of a mix in that space. So when you get into your colder months, you might see a little bit of a drop. Also in there, you can have a little bit of, if people are doing sales or, competition around the Amazon spaces, so they might promote different products. Sometimes it's just the product mix. As you get sort of to more upper end products, it depends sort of along there, like is it a more expensive product or a cheaper version? Also, in those earlier months, you've got the keywords ranking at different levels. So now it's much more steady and stable. So different keywords obviously have different values, whether it's a small item or a big item or expensive, high quality, low quality, all that sort of stuff. So it can be a little bit tricky to analyze all the ups and downs. But mostly in my analysis has been very steady, and the slight declines or the swings and roundabouts happen when you've got a short month in February or you've got public holidays where Amazon might not ship, and so that gets moved into the following month. And because it is a home improvement, sometimes the shipping can, if a month ends on a weekend and all that sort of stuff, Amazon won't ship the bigger items there on the Saturday, Sunday. And so it can be a little bit confusing to sort of look through them, but generally over a quarter, you'll see that it's very steady and very smooth.
So it's not like one of those products where it's like heavy on Christmas and kind of like dies out in the earlier. It's not like a weight loss product where it's really big January, February, March. It's more, there are a little bit of ups and downs. It's mostly due to, the summer is a bit better than winter, and it depends on holidays and when Amazon's shipping, basically.
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk about the content on the site. You said was maybe 55 pages, and you have about 35,000 words?
Yep.
Okay.
52 pages, yes.
So it's a solid amount of content, not unmanageable, where it's like 3,000 pages, and it would be very difficult. So anyone that has some SEO skills and wants to come in there and start to do some on-site sculpting, some off-site sculpting, like there's opportunity there. Have you guys done any split testing on the pages for conversions, or do you generally not do that?
No, we haven't done any split testing.
Okay. So let's talk about opportunities with this. I mean, you said earlier that you've kind of got a keyword plan mapped out. Is that something that you would focus on if you were keeping the site for another 2 or 3 years? Would you continue down the keyword plan and build content around those keywords?
Yes, absolutely. The site's fairly, well branded, I think. It's not one of these specific product name reviews.com kind of sites. There is a sort of a little bit of a brand around it, so you can really expand it quite wide and far. So we had about 3 keywords, I think, sort of on the back burner. It's not worth us expanding it now because obviously the site's for sale, but for the new buyer, there's a million products that you can review and analyze with the sort of niche that it's in. It's that kind of broad. So it would, it's really simple. It's really good return on investment if you find a good writer on HighWriters or Upwork or wherever, and you don't need to do too much SEO because the site's already there and built and ranking with links. So you can kind of get these products and new pages sort of up on the site and hopefully see some returns very simply and very quickly.
So your focus would be on additional content. You've already kind of mapped out the keywords. You're going to turn that over to the new buyer. So they already have a roadmap in terms of keywords they can target. Obviously, they can add their own. When you target a keyword for, let's say, a particular piece of content, do you target 3 to 5 keywords? Do you target one main one and some secondary keywords? What are your thoughts there?
It varies, but generally try and target one main keyword. Keep it focused and, you usually see results.
Gotcha. Okay. So, I mean, the opportunities here are really, it's a wider niche. It's very not stuck to one particular product. It's broad, meaning you can continue to add and expand beyond its initial scope. I think that sounds like a good approach. Let's talk about the risks. And, whenever we talk about an organic site, an Amazon affiliate site, there are, two things that come to mind. One, that you lose ranking. So you go from number 3 to number 8 for a particular key term that gets you a bunch of traffic, or you get de-indexed or penalized by Google. I mean, you're at Google's whim, unfortunately. And the other one is, the fact that you're with Amazon. So if Amazon shut down your account or stopped allowing affiliates for whatever state you're in or, country you're in, then that could be a problem. Do you see any risks outside of those, or do you want to expand on those a bit?
No, you're absolutely right. The two big risks, you sort of your rankings with the search engines and Google, and probably more other potential competition. The web is a ever moving feast. So I think with the Google and the search engine rankings, we've done everything we can to sort of mitigate those risks, and that we have really good content. It's a decent site. It's it's not 5 pages. There's 50 plus. There's it's native English speaking, written, and the site is optimized, so it loads really quickly. Our blog network that ranks the site is truly private and managed by us. So there's no sort of other public sort of things going on there. So I think we've done everything we can to, reduce those risks. There's, a general sort of keyword diversity and, not super easily replicated by competition. So, and the Amazon, it can be scary knowing you've got, one income source from one company. But generally, we found they're pretty good. All the disclosures we keep up to date with all them, so they're all fine on the website, and it's all compliant. And and while there is a long terms and services, it's relatively simple to keep up to date with those things. And we're across that. You have an ongoing relationship with us because we're going to charge a small fee for the ongoing PBN links, and that reduces the initial price of the site. So you have an ongoing relationship with us, and we've got another 29 sites with this one. So if there's any Amazon changes across, we're sort of happy to go, hey, by the way, did you realize this? Or, but Amazon generally in the Amazon Associates program, the affiliate program, they've been a little bit more stable. I know there's been some ups and downs and changes with Amazon FBA at the moment, but the Amazon Associates program is a lot longer, more stable program, in my opinion, than the FBA product. So we're kind of happy that all our eggs are in one basket with our business in Amazon, and generally that's played out very well for us.
So you get, one of the things that, someone brand new to this is listening to, and they may not be aware what a PBN is. So basically a PBN is a private blog network, and it is a truly private network in that it is yours and your partners, where you use these links from a whole host of other blogs you have and use them as link building to the sites that you own and to the sites you're selling. And what you were mentioning earlier is you're going to continue to manage that. The PBN is not included with the sale, but this is the same PBN that you use for building and ranking all of your sites. So for a small fee that's already been taken out and included in the costs into this, so it's not added onto the price and they don't have to pay extra. It's already included, but they're going to continue to pay you, and then you're going to continue to provide links and make changes as necessary to keep the site up and running. Does that cover it?
Yeah, correct. And we find that creates a good relationship with us as the seller and hopefully the new buyer, and that we sort of have a little ongoing relationship there, and we can touch base and help with things that we might change on our other sites. And it keeps us accountable to hold those PBN links up as well, because then every month I look down my profit and loss statement and go, okay, yeah, there was the $150 for these links that we're maintaining and ensuring they're up to date and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah.
We actually have buyers that, as just outside the deal, have offered when there's a PBN or whatever and it wasn't included, saying, look, I will pay you this much money. You have to keep those links in place. And his thought there is look, I'm going to get them reliant on money from me and, make sure they don't cause any problems in the future by saying, oh, I'll just take those down, or oh, I'm going to do something else. Make sure they keep them up because they're making some money. So I know you're looking to do the same thing. It holds you accountable, but also keeps you interested.
Absolutely.
Cool. Okay. So let's talk about the work required. And I think this should be a pretty quick conversation. There's not a lot of work with the site, but can you tell me what maybe a new buyer would do on a day-to-day or a week-to-week basis with this?
Day to day, week to week, we do very little actually. It's more of a monthly process. So monthly, we'd make sure we do all the, the server maintenance and all that sort of thing, backups and restarts and anything you have to do with any website. So, and also I'm a bit of an accounting nerd, so I'll look at all the stats and check that everything's sort of humming along. And every quarter we find it's pretty good for our businesses, is we try, and I outsource this, is I'll get someone to look over the products generally just to check that the products are still, in stock, available to purchase on Amazon, haven't all of a sudden changed suppliers or, was manufactured in America and then they've gone to China and the quality sucks and now the product sucks. That's something, potentially happens. With this site, very, very little, because it's not technology, it's not a fashionable item, it's dull, boring kind of stuff. So we have very little issues with that. And that just ensures that you sort of don't turn around in sort of 6 months' time and go, oh, wow, all these products are a bit outdated. And but usually you'll see your earnings impacted before you sort of have to worry about that. And Amazon is fantastic at selling people. So even if some of the things, they go in on one page and it might be not as good as it once was, Amazon's right there ready to recommend them a much better item, and you still get the commission for that. So yeah, it's just a little bit of spring cleaning every quarter just to make sure everything's still ticking over.
What percentage of your sales are actually in the niche and what percentage are outside? Like what percentage are buying, I don't know, like coolers or like what, you know what I mean? Like what percentage are buying other products?
I don't have the figures exactly for this site, but generally across our portfolio there, that it's about 80% are in the niche.
Oh, that's high. Wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, generally we sort of found that it is sort of a little bit of an oddball kind of thing. Because the keywords you target, you're trying to get people in that buying mindset. And Amazon, again, is fantastic at suggesting, oh, by the way, you looked at coffee tables the other week, and while you're searching for, fine art or something, remember you wanted to get that coffee table, and then they go, get ads for all that, and then they actually go and buy the coffee table because they've been thinking about it for the last 2 weeks in their mind on the way to work or whatever. So, but generally we find with these more home improvement sort of household stuff, people are fairly focused and they're thinking about, the task they have at hand. They want to renovate this or that or paint this or whatever. So they're a bit more focused than maybe if it was a consumer sort of tech product where they're just sort of looking to entertain themselves or something. Then that would be a much more sort of scatter kind of approach.
Or impulse buy, because then they're going to buy other things while they're doing the impulse buys, or if there's an impulse buy niche, maybe. You guys put a lot of faith in Amazon, and I think rightfully so in terms of like upselling or cross-selling, right? And that's something I tell people is that, because some people look for Amazon affiliate sites to convert to FBA, to convert to drop shipping, or convert to e-commerce, and that can be a wonderfully successful strategy, but it can also backfire where yes, okay, you're like, oh, I would get, 30% margin instead of, my Amazon percentage. But the problem is that you don't convert them on the cart nearly as well as Amazon's going to do. You don't cross-sell nearly as well as Amazon does. So that can actually backfire on you. Speaking of percentages, you guys, just to let the potential buyers and listeners know, you're at 8.5 right now. Someone buying this with no other Amazon sites or experience would be right around 8%. If they've got some other Amazon sites, they'll probably be pretty close to 8.5 as well, right?
Yes, correct.
Cool. Okay, let's do some additional questions that buyers are going to want to know. I mean, number one, if I'm buying this and you have the PBN pointed to it, I want to know for sure that you're not going to turn around and start competing with me directly in this niche. So for your main keywords, I know that you guys do some like household kind of repair household items and stuff. It wouldn't be that broad, but would you be willing to do a non-compete for these particular products?
Yeah, absolutely. That's fine.
All right. And then in terms of support, I don't think there's a ton of questions even a new buyer is going to have in terms of taking this over, but you guys have offered to provide 30 days of email support and then a 1-hour Skype call to get someone up to speed. I think that'd probably be enough. Can you talk a little bit more about like what you're willing to offer? So maybe someone that's brand new to this and needs some help.
Yeah, I mean, we enjoy helping some of the new guys out. So, if you're going to buy this site, we're going to be there to help you through and make sure you're getting the returns that we're currently getting.
Awesome. And one of the benefits of, all online businesses, but particular businesses like this, is that they can be run from anywhere, like absolutely anywhere. You guys are in Chiang Mai, Thailand, in the north of Thailand, a small city, cool city, but like kind of out of the way. And you guys are running this business. So I really, by businesses like this can really be run from anywhere. Another question I might have is, I'm buying this business that's less than 2 years old. I may want to do, let's say, 70% up front and 30% on closing. They pay the full 100% to us, but then you're paid 30% after 30 days. Or they say, look, I want to do 80% up front, but I want 5%, a month spread out over 4 months to make sure that the earnings continue. Is that something you guys would be open to?
I wouldn't rule out anything because, like I said before, that there's no specific project that the cash is earmarked for. So I guess with this sale, we're potentially a bit more flexible with that. But I think when, if the site takes a little while to sell, I think buyers will see that the earnings are going up and into the summer months, and it's probably a pretty good buy now. So, but yeah, open to it. But I mean, of course, everyone prefers cash on the barrelhead up front. So,
yeah, it always depends, right? Someone's offering 100% cash, someone's offering 100% of the deal, but you're not going to get 30% of the cash for 6 months. I know which one you're going with. So,
yeah.
All right, man. So let's do a wrap up of the business. As we said before, it's Bathroom Fixtures. It's an Amazon affiliate site. You're currently at 8.5%. Someone buys this straight out the gate with no other Amazon sites, it's going to be right around 8%. It was built in June 2014, so almost 2 years ago. Monthly revenue $5,366 a month. That's an 8-month average per month. Expenses $155 a month, and that includes the PBN links they're going to be paying you for long term. So you've already taken that out. Net profit $5,211 a month. Again, that's an 8-month average. This doesn't include the domain and the site content. It's going to include the keyword plan that you have laid out to add additional content. This is a pretty passive Amazon affiliate site and a pretty straightforward business model. Can you give me your best pitch over the next 30 seconds or so on why you think someone should purchase this business?
Yep, I think it's a pretty good buy. Obviously, it's very stable at the moment. It's hands-off site, built and sold by reputable people. This is our now third site that we've sold through Empire Flippers. Our previous buyer is very happy. That was in May last year that we sold a fairly big site as well. There's on these numbers, we're looking at doing, just looking at my notes, we're done month to date. We haven't finished March yet for the Amazon stats, but we've done $6,000 this month. So it's definitely on the uptick. And generally, we like to try and leave some money on the tables for the investors. So there's still a little bit of room for growth. You're not going to see 30% growth, but they're still going into a good season. We're here for the long term, and I think with this site, you're looking at a 44% return on investment. So get it while it's hot.
Awesome. But you know what's funny? You mentioned that. You say, I don't know if you're going to get 30% or whatever. And this always happens with sellers, right? They get to the point, like you're saying, when it starts to level out, right? And you're like, I've got it to kind of where I'm going to get. I've kind of not maxed it out, but you're feeling like you've done what you can do. And then other people, I swear, you can think they're crazy, but they look at these businesses and they go, okay, they finally got to the level where I can start to skyrocket or I can start to like really build it out. And so you're like, the price stay even. They're like, nope, I'm going to get 30% by next year, 50% by next year. So we'll see what they do. And you'll be running the PBN, so you'll be able to see it. Some sellers actually end up kicking themselves afterwards. They're like, should I have sold that or should I have kept it going?
Oh, I hope so. That's fine. Hope the investor, because that just gives my credibility a boost and makes the next site that much easier to sell.
That is fantastic. Oh, and by the way, for anyone listening to this, we do reprice listings every month based on earnings. So if you're a little over $6,000 in March, there will be a price increase, and there will be a price increase every month as we go forward. Before the price increase, we always give everyone about 48 hours to make an offer and get that deal in at the older price. So people have that opportunity. Again, thanks so much for doing this interview. If anyone's listening to this and they're interested in checking out more details about this, if you're on YouTube or whatever, there's a link in the show notes you can click through that'll take you to the listing page on Empire Flippers. The listing number is 40476. Once you're there, you'll be able to see screenshots of the earnings, screenshots of the traffic. If you want all of the details, including the URL, including access to analytics, including detailed earning statements, you can pay a refundable deposit. There's a link in the top right-hand corner of the listing page. Once you've paid that deposit, we'll share all that information with you, and we'll get you in contact with the seller so you can ask them follow-up questions and get all of your questions answered as you're doing your due diligence. Thanks again so much for coming on, man. Appreciate it.
No, thank you.